I'm just making a quick video to help people out with the DeathAdder V3 Pro, because it does have QC issues, and quite a bit of them for how expensive a mouse it is. But anyway, if you have left side creaking right here behind the forward and back buttons, solution for that is to take some blue painter's tape and put it along these tabs on the bottom here. If you do that, it'll stop the creaking, the side by side. I put some on there too, which is the prongs where the main creaking was for me. Another issue I had is the rice mouse button here it was loose. It was kind of extra wobbly, and I would feel it kind of like popping when I pushed down on it. So in order to fix that, I had just a little piece of like laminated paper, not too thick, but you know, something a little thicker than normal paper if you have it. And what I did was I took a little bit of that paper and I cut it with an X-Acto knife, and then I put a little bit of that paper right there. It focuses. So I put a little bit of the paper right there, and then what I did was I used some of this Loctite vinyl fabric plastic flexible adhesive. I put it on the tip of my spudger, and then I just dotted it right between there, so that way it wouldn't fall out. This wet looking stuff around here is lube to help it with the creaking and shaking feeling. So I lubed that peg there, the peg over here on this side. I lubed the contact surface that goes on the mouse button, along with the mouse button. Don't use a lot because these are optical. I don't know if it really messes with it, but don't use a lot. You don't need a lot. A little bit of lube goes a long way. Anyway, and then I put another piece of the paper right in here where the mouse button moves up and down in between that. See, it moves. It's really hard to see on camera, especially with that one being fixed, but it moves up and down when you click. So to prevent the shaking feeling of up and down, this is to prevent the shaking feeling of the side to side, that post. And then this right here is to take up the loose feeling of clicking up and down. So I put a little bit of paper right behind that. Focus, please. Okay, so I put a little bit of paper right behind that, and then I used the same method with that vinyl glue. Just tapped a little bit of it on there right here in the back so it wouldn't go loose, and then I lubed up the switches, and now I will close it and show you what it sounds like. Alright, so this is after the little mod I did on here to prevent this. Here's what it sounds like. And the side play is essentially gone now. I mean, it used to be pretty bad, now it's not too bad. But the more important thing is the looseness of it's gone. It used to, now if you hear anything, it might be because of this. I'm going to hold the bottom of my donut and screws in, but I used to shake it and have rattle, but it's pretty much gone now. Well, the actual mouse button part is what you're hearing, that little, that's just the ribbon cable you're hearing. But it used to be the mouse button would rattle because it was loose. So that little paper mod on that post and in between the gaps that press the actual switch have taken that away. And a little bit of lube on the switch, you don't feel it grinding against that switch more because it can't move, and the switch pressure is the exact same. There's no difference because I lubed those posts with the paper. So that'll fix your creaking of the side here. That blue painter's tape on the inside will fix that creaking, and then those two little mods with the little bit of paper in there will fix your creaking on the right mouse button.